What's up, everybody? Welcome to Value Town, episode 61. I'm ChanManV, and joined today by Noxious, of course, my co-host each and every week. And he's a new daddy now.
Yep, real
Congratulations on the
dad.
new baby,
Real
man.
dad.
Yeah.
No, right? Do it, dad! I can do this, right? Totally.
Totally. No, so how's it been, man? That's like, I know first baby is always amazing.
Yeah.
And
It's been pretty. I didn't know if I could actually make it this week to the episode, but as it turns out, we've been able to budget time. It's gonna be okay. I mean, the baby's been pretty nice. The first day, second day was cool too.
Yeah.
Last night was the beginning, I think, of a long slope towards madness for me, but it's fine. I'll get used to it.
That's great. Well, congrats to you and your wife, of course.
Thanks.
I know it's always an awesome time. But today's episode, guys, it's going to be the first episode that we do that's going to be focused on content making in Hearthstone. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time since we started Value Town. So today I'm really, really excited to get a chance to do that. And what better way to do that than to invite two of our top YouTubers in the Hearthstone community, Trolden and DisguisedToast, to really join us in the discussion. So welcome, guys. How are you guys doing? DisguisedToast, of course, doing. You don't have your mask on today. What's going on? It's on the wall today.
I lost my glasses, so if I put it on, people can see my eyes and maybe deduce my identity. So I'm just keeping it on the wall today. It's all in the eyes.
Oh god.
I don't know.
That's awesome.
I mean, I might be preparing for all you know. You can just tell by looking at my eyes. So
You're a very skilled
That's
impersonator.
that's true. That's true. And Trolden, man, how you doing?
Oh, great. Thank you for having me here. It's really exciting. It's my
Yeah.
first time on a podcast like this, so
I remember talking to you about it, possibly, having an episode like this back in DreamHack, like I think like a year and a half ago or something when we, were in DreamHack summer, and it's taken that long to finally finally get this
but
together.
we're finally here. So
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're going to be, of course, we're going to be talking a lot about just content making, the ins and outs of it, just getting these guys' opinions, and as well as Noxious and I, and just talking about just the different aspects of it and how to be successful at it and all that good stuff. But we'll kick things off with talking about Redbull Brawl, and then we'll end things with Q&A like we always do. So tweet your questions to ValueTownGG, and we'll try to get to as many as we can at the end of the show. But I do want to talk about the Red Bull team brawl that happened this past weekend. We did talk about it obviously last week, kind of leading up to it, and then they did it on Saturday. A little bit mixed reactions, especially when it first started, because they had some production issues, which led to just craziness on Reddit. I mean, there were like, how many threads saying that, oh my god, this event sucks, and all this stuff. And then by the end of it, everybody was like, oh, this event was great. This event
This was the coolest
cool.
thing I've ever seen ever. Thanks, Temple Storm and a Red Bull.
this happens every second time, I think. Every second event, just the production in the beginning is terrible, and then they fix it somehow, and everything becomes great.
Yeah.
I remember
my
something like that
son's-
happening to buy a game.
Oh
It was
god,
just-
yes.
I remember that too. Yeah.
Every time production was awful, everything was lagging, stream was crashing, but then everything kind of got fixed and people loved it.
Yep, exactly. Toast, did you get a chance to see it?
No, I thought it was really funny because by the time Sunday rolled around, you had like 3 threads saying this was the worst tournament ever,
Yeah.
and 3 other threads saying this was the best tournament ever.
I
It's like,
know.
so
Oh man, I know. And it's just like one was like they were kind of normalizing, right? Like after the other one was
they kept
like
like
upvotes, the other one was getting upvotes. It was,
you could see it kind of moved, it shifted, like the zeitgeist of the subreddit just kind of stabilized.
the
That was
dynamic
good.
was definitely hilarious.
Thanks, Frodan, for that, by the way. Pretty much, I think a lot of the production issues were sorted out, I guess.
Yeah.
When Frodan came on and stabilized the entire thing.
Yeah, he definitely has a way of doing that.
Yep.
But yeah, I would give him an MVP of it because I think things just started to be fixed, whether it was coincidental or not. But when he got on the caster desk, I think everything started to just to smoothen out. So that's why he's our top caster, in my opinion, in the community.
Our top personality
Yeah.
at this stage, even.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's talk about just the specifics. What you guys liked about it. How'd you guys like the deck building portion? Just when the teams, you could see them opening packs and just the interaction of getting the decks together.
I really enjoyed the fact that you guys see all these different cards, but my one concern about it was the fact that everyone, like each team, had different packs essentially. So
yeah,
as you saw in the finals, like I think Temple Storm got like
great
2 Mustafa Battle, 2 Shiro Minibot, just an insane Paladin deck. While the guys on Team Liquid kind of got screwed on that end. So I'm not sure if it was better to just kind of have them have the same cards, or would that have ruined the spirit of it?
I feel like Hearthstone has a lot of RNG, so pack RNG isn't that bad.
Yeah.
I just feel like this type of deck building makes everything more exciting because everyone's tired of watching the same tournaments where people play the same decks.
Yeah.
And even though it might be in someone else's favor, for example, Tempo Storm this time, it's still exciting to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, at some point this is gonna get boring too, and then we'll add the Super Brawl, where when you put a card in your deck, you actually have to roll a dice to see whether or not you put it or a card of your opponent's choice. So there's always gonna be a lot of excitement building up. You can stack RNG on top of RNG to really bring back the flavor that Knife Juggler Implosion used to have before rotation kicked in. That'd feel good, man.
Yeah, that's
sounds pretty good, right?
That sounds pretty good. No, I mean, the whole thing was supposed to mimic, more of the Magic sealed type of format, right?
Yeah.
And I think if they would have had the same decks, to your point, Disguise, or just addressing that point, is they'd end up with the same decks. I think they're probably similar in deck building. Of course, there's some nuances, but everybody would have ended up with that Paladin deck. That was like a no-brainer. It had like all the good Paladin cards in it, right? And probably would have ended up with similar decks, and then that would have been kind of boring, right? If they ended up with similar decks. The part that I like the most is like as they were opening packs, you know what I mean? They were just trying to get a feel for which classes they would want to play. I mean, it was like a really small nuance, but I kind of found that pretty cool and entertaining. And then, of course, like trying to figure out how to distribute the cards into 3 decks was kind of cool. And you could tell who like between the 3 players or between however many players, you could tell who the deck builders were, right, in each team, and they could kind of take control of that. And it was good to see that too, because most of the times you just see them streaming on their streams and they build their own decks, or they're trying out somebody else's deck. So it's kind of cool seeing them in the environment. What do you think about having the 3 games going on at the same time?
Oh boy, that was. I mean, at the start it was really confusing because essentially you have the casters talking about one game, you have the camera pointed at another game, and then when they cut to like the player voice, they're talking about a 3rd game. So it was all over the place. But by the end of it. They really got together, and it was really cool, like jumping from game to game, like in a very coherent manner.
Yeah, exactly. Trolden, what'd you think?
I agree with everything that Toast just said.
Wow, that's very politically correct. I mean, one of the things to keep in mind as well is that, and I think people don't realize that when they're sitting at home and watching the event, is that kind of shit takes so much effort to put together. And when you've got multiple feeds to manage as well, that adds a layer of complexity that you otherwise wouldn't see necessarily. And it's like one of the first, if not, one of the first events that Redbull runs of that scope and with that format especially. Hearthstone. So I think the experience itself will do a lot of work as far as the next one goes. Yeah. I mean, I think every organization has run into this. Like we talked about, most tournaments eventually kind of run into that issue and then they fix it. But it's especially difficult with a format that's like this one, which is just there's so much to manage at once. It's just too difficult.
And it's everything's new too, right? So there hasn't, like, none of the producers or even the people organizing it have done an event that's similar to this, where you have 3 of them going on, and you're supposed to be basically keeping track of it and switching and broadcasting. So this event was supposed to be a proof of concept, of course. So working through it and fixing out kinks during it, I guess to some point is expected. But the 3 matches going on at the same time, I thought was really cool. Most tournament organizers would tell you, we want to show all the matches, right? So we can get as many views and as many hours as we can, right, broadcasting. But there was some element of it that was really, really cool, especially when they were helping each other. Like when they were playing their match and they're kind of helping each other. It reminded me of playing 2v2 chess or that experience. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, where you Have you guys ever played 2v2 chess where you play black and your teammate plays
Your
white?
teammate plays white. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I've
and then
actually seen that before. It's
yeah,
actually pretty
yeah,
interesting to think
yeah.
about because the team dynamic in a game that's meant to be 1v1 really adds like, and you're also debating a lot, you know, about what
Yeah.
you should be doing, and
Like
that leads
29.
to really interesting outcomes sometimes.
Like it's definitely 29, you know?
It is.
I mean, it's
Oh,
that
God.
was pretty funny. All three of them looking at it, right? And it's like,
God
"Are
damn
lethal
it.
here?" That's what's pretty crazy. And then LOH at the end is like, I thought we were one short or something.
And right now it's
Oh
like, you should have
man.
told us.
Oh, that was
Uh,
awesome. That was definitely the
Yeah.
highlight of the whole tournament.
29 for sure.
No, but overall though, I think the event was really cool. Hopefully they'll do it. Hopefully other people will try it too. I even had people on my stream just like want to, you know, play me or whatever, bet me and try to play just a straight up one-on-one, you know, like kind of a best of 3 with 3 decks. So that's really cool.
Because they did have the tool online, right? So if
Yeah.
you want to try that thing out, like you just go to, I forget the exact website. I think it's redbull.com/Hearthstone, something along those lines.
Templestone's website.
Yeah,
they
it's
put it
on,
up there now. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
it's actually housed on I mean the web tool itself is on Templestorms, but the direct link is, let me find it. I can probably
Yeah, whatever. We'll put it in the chat
Yeah.
afterwards. But basically, if you
exactly.
don't know what the format is about and how it works, like there's a tool you can use online to kind of draft a sealed in Hearthstone, and that's really cool. Because just based on the way that people appreciated the event, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw people try to run tourneys for that kind of stuff. You know, kind of custom formats going back to the Curse trials type of things that you know, Archon's organizing as well on the side. It's just so much more fun to play Hearthstone with different decks.
Yeah, and again, it just emphasizes deck building. You know, deck building is a skill in itself, and
yeah,
getting a chance to see people try it out, especially when there's, you know, it's not obvious when there's that paladin deck that we were talking about with Tempestorm. When there's like a good distribution between like a lot of classes and like a lot of the class cards, it's kind of interesting to see like which ones they decide to pick. Like, do we play a Beast Druid? You know, a Beast Druid seemed to be a recurring kind of thing. In
there's no
some of these
BGH
decks.
for that Fang, man. Like you can actually get away with it.
Hemmet. Somebody gets Hemmet. That would be pretty
oh no.
Somebody plays Hemmet.
Not
That would be
happening.
amazing, right? But yeah, so it definitely puts some interesting scenarios that we don't get a chance to see often. But yeah, so that's going to be it. The Curse trials is going to be next weekend. I think not this weekend, but maybe next weekend. So they've changed the format for the Curse trials. It's going to be standard format now instead of just, you know, eliminating the basic. So we get a little bit of taste of maybe what we presume to be coming. You know, there won't be all the new cards, and there won't be necessarily any edits to the basic or classic cards, but no GVG and no Nax is pretty interesting regardless.
Yeah.
All right, content making, guys. So these are the experts. These are our YouTube video experts here. And yeah, just figured we get a good we'd have a chance to interview you guys, or at least get a feel for the man behind the videos, because we don't get a chance to see you guys on a lot of live stuff or just talk shows and things like that. So yeah, just start off with, you know, I think I've seen a ton of your videos. I'm sure Nox has seen all your videos. How can we not?
Pretty much.
It's like every week. It's like towards the top of Reddit. So been enjoying it for, you know, just over a year now, with at least with Trolden, and actually with you too now, DisguisedToast, right? You've been doing it for over a year now, right?
I think I'm coming up on 9 months for videos.
Oh, is it 9 months? Okay, I thought you started in January for some reason.
I mean, I made those pretty infographic posters.
Right, you've been around for about
Those
a
were
year.
amazing.
Like,
Yeah,
that's
those were awesome.
Yeah.
They
so
were always at the top of the Reddit, and everyone's been upvoting it, retweeting, mid crip. Everyone enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it's how it's my claim to fame, I guess. Those infographics. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely good stuff. But Trolden, let's start with you, since you've been around for like since the beta, since we all got started. Yeah. I guess what got you into just making the videos, or how'd you come up with the idea of doing like funny plays and you know, just your series of videos?
Well, the funny and lucky moments didn't occur to me immediately. The first video that I made on YouTube was Hitler reacts to latest Hearthstone changes or
Oh my
something.
god, really?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
It was back in the
Wow.
days when they nerfed priests, I think, and mages were like the most dominant class. They had Pyroblast for 8 mana and a lot of freezing
Oh, yes,
spells and
freeze
everything.
mage.
Not that. Oh.
And it got on the front page of Reddit. And then I think a week later they nerfed mages, and
Yeah.
I made a Dimitri reacts video where he's dancing to like mages
Oh my
nerf
Just
music.
nerfed,
Yeah.
right. I remember that video.
And it
You
got a
start with
bunch
the
of
tank.
views. It got a bunch of views, and I started, you know, trying and making different kinds of videos, like montage parodies. They were kind of popular back then. And then I decided that I think I have to do something that I can produce maybe weekly or 2 times per week. And I decided that something like Funny Lucky Moments would be just fine, because every game, League of Legends, Dota, has those kinds of moments.
Mhm.
And back in the days, Hearthstone only had top 5 plays by 2P press start. He's not doing them anymore because he's got a lot of family business and just
Mhm.
work in general. And I started doing Funny Lucky Moments. It kind of took off. I think in a few months I had more subscribers than 2P press start, but only because I feel like Hearthstone is more fun to watch than it is kind of professional thing. You know, you always enjoy Hearthstone
So
for
the
all the
casuals.
RNG, for the casual stuff, right?
So
Not
the
for
filthy
all the-
casuals are more interesting. Or
Well, it is true
for
though. I mean,
stuff.
if you think about it, it's just that Hearthstone is so much more fun to, for the most part at least, just be based on the Twitch audience, more fun to watch than play. How many more
Yeah,
people on
I think
Twitch actually watch the game than play it themselves and think to themselves while they're watching, I should at least do my dailies, and then it's too late by the time they're done. But yeah, like a lot of people don't even play the game as much as they look at it. So I think you're right.
And the biggest problem with top 5 plays, I've actually been doing a few episodes. I'm not sure if I'm gonna pick it up again. Is that a lot of people have been commenting like, "Oh, this is just RNG. This is bullshit. This
Mhm.
was easy.
Yeah.
That was an obvious play. Even a like
Yeah.
3-year-old see that one, and it just ruins
2-year-old.
all the fun."
Well, top 5 plays is just hard to. I mean, from the standpoint of even having content, right? It's hard to have that consistently. When you're talking about top 5 like amazing plays, and then what's amazing nowadays is, I mean, there's not that many plays that people haven't seen at this point, right? Like everybody always talks about like the, I mean, if we're talking about just like high skill plays versus just like epic plays, I mean, top 5 plays, was that a combination of? It was a combination of both, right? Like.
No, just skill
Just
ones.
pure
Oh,
skill
just- it was
usually,
just
and
pure
it's very
skill, okay,
difficult in
okay.
Hearthstone
For the
to.
bad ones, I have funny lucky moments. I can just put
Yeah,
it
yeah,
there.
okay. Yeah, so for the skillful ones, I mean, those are very hard to come by these days because people have seen almost everything.
Mhm.
And the problem is that some people can really rate their own plays. I mean, whenever you do something in Hearthstone, it kind of seems epic. You know, you just pulled off that awesome combo, but
Yeah.
Reddit kind of figured that out 2 months ago, and
Yeah,
no one
right.
cares at this point.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
a lot of people keep sending everything is awesome, and you know, Organized Soul Priestess something combos,
Right.
like tens of them, 20 of them. People still send the Mistress of Pain videos where she kills a priest with Organized Soul Priestess.
Right.
Right.
And just because not everyone uses Reddit and websites like Hearthstone and I don't even Tempo Storm.
Well, I could find you a video though. I mean, I can probably come up like there's only one combo that I've come up with that I've seen no one else do, which is like the double South Sea deckhand, double South Sea captain, double ship's cannon, sky captain crag in one turn, OTK. But that's like
I saw something like that.
okay. So if it happened, then we pretty much covered the stupidest,
Any
most
ARG
dank
can happen.
combo.
Any
Like,
ARG
this
can
is
happen.
any R. Oh god. Please no. But yeah, like
the way-
it's just been so weird finding like skill plays outside of tournaments in very specific situations, and oftentimes like we've seen some wonky priest stuff, but it doesn't happen with every class. Like some classes have really tough plays to spot, and other ones just play straightforward from the start to the end.
I think
Priests
it's
are
mostly
fun
because
of Thought Steal.
yeah, it's mostly because in Hearthstone it's very easy to spot the wrong play, right? You did
Yeah.
something wrong.
Mhm.
But spotting the best play or like the better play is like really hard and opinionated. So when you try to say, well, here are the top plays, you're gonna have tons of people disagreeing with you, even if they are the best plays. You're gonna have someone saying, well, it's either too easy or it's just that something could have been better done. It's just when you deal with opinion stuff, that happens a lot.
And Hearthstone has a lot of micromanagement. Like you watch opponent's hand, you play different cards because you have something in your deck, and it's not really that easy to show.
Yeah, to explain the
situation. The person made something really cool. That happens pretty often in the tournaments when casters say that someone misplayed or did something bad, but they don't know what's in his head. And this is why I also enjoyed the Redbull tournament, because you could hear players talk about their own plays.
Yeah.
So you could kind of see their thought process.
Yeah. Toast, I know some of the videos that you've done, or you've people have really enjoyed, or really popular videos have been situations or scenarios where you set up yourself, right? And then there's just like some crazy epic, just moments where doing 100,000 damage or whatever, crazy things like that, right? Do you feel like that's like a better or just more consistent way of doing content versus just like trying to pick, I guess, play from other people?
It's hard, right? Because that kind of stuff is very limited in terms of like, something crazy would be, obviously something like Bow Ram Shield, Organized Soul Priest, and Tree of Life. But once you discover that and you do it, it's like, okay, well, you gotta think of something else, and you better hope that something else hasn't been on, of course, like something like Trolden's Lucky Moment. If it's been on there, you show, it's like, boo, I already seen this shit. Why are you showing it to me? So
is there an index of moments anywhere? Like, how do you even know? Like, you'd have to go through every single video, right?
Actually, when I do videos, I usually take only one from Reddit. And the rest I try to find myself with only like thousands of views, even less. Because if I have more than one video from Reddit, then everyone starts complaining, especially on Reddit. Like, oh, here's the weekly Reddit videos from Trolden. But
there's always at least three of those comments on your threads.
But if I don't add something from Reddit, then people start complaining that I don't have any cool streamers, all those reactions, and
you're not in touch with the community if you don't.
I'm not in touch with community.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, because the most exciting clips will end up on Reddit. Like if it's on a popular streamer, 100% end up on Reddit. And obviously you want to show the luckiest moments or the funniest moment, and that moment is on Reddit. So you use it, and people say, "Well, looks like he's just stealing from Reddit again." You don't use it. It's like you have to resort to using not as awesome moments. So it's kind of like, it's a hard position to be in.
Yeah, well, I think it's true of every content piece. Like sometimes I'll make a video about a card or another, or talk about a topic that's been talked about on Reddit, and some people who end up seeing the video, if it ends up on Reddit, will simply say, "Oh wow, nice echo chamber you got there," or just like, "Oh, welcome to the circle jerk, dude." It's just like a massive. I don't even know if they realize just how often you'll have overlapping topics. As a result of the small space and the current relevance of certain topics as well, that you notice as you play the game.
Circle jerk is the favorite word on Reddit, on our Hearthstone. It's just they use it every time. I remember back before all the announcements and League of Explorers, I did a post complaining about Hearthstone, and then DisguisedToast did too. And Reddit kind of supported it because it was we're talking about the stuff that's close to them. But after Blizzard released League of Explorers, they kind of fixed a lot of their problems, I feel like. And Reddit was all against us, like we're circle jerking, trying to up upvotes, and
well, I didn't tell anyone.
Yeah, I got you. I thought you guys were going on. I thought you guys were retiring from Hearthstone, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, someone said that Trolden said that Overwatch is gonna take over Hearthstone in the comments, and it was third most upvoted comment. And I never said that. That's the biggest problem. Like, you can say anything you want on Reddit, and people will believe it. Unless you prove them wrong.
Yeah, we've talked about that before on this show.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I just feel like that whole, and let's talk about the topic as well. You know, when you guys kind of said, you know, this game needs some fucking changes happening because it's starting to suck. The day before that post went up by Toast as a follow up to yours, I was talking with, you know, a guy on Curse and how I was about to just quit the fucking game if the devs didn't get their shit together. Like I was really on the verge of just calling it quits and moving on with my life and doing something else entirely. Like I didn't know what it would be, but just something else, just making videos about other stuff, whatever it would be. And as it turns out, League of Explorers gave us that little bit of extra mile, I guess we could go. But still, we reached a point recently where we again hit that wall, and they had to come up with the format changes. Otherwise, it was going to be another big problem, one after the other. They're just kind of delaying the inevitable moment where everybody kind of just jumps ship because they're tired of it. It's boring, and it's just all the same.
Yeah, Toast. What I mean, you're here obviously, so why don't we just have you talk about that,
talk
right?
About
I mean,
it.
you know, just the whole, you know, the post that you made about, you know, maybe taking a break, right, from doing some videos, and then obviously when League of Explorer came out, then you started making videos, you know, soon after. So why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So I guess the whole, like, I call it the Great Reddit Hearthstone Depression of 2015.
Wow, that is really
that's a good classification.
A great name.
The depression era of Hearthstone. Okay.
Yeah, like right before it started, I made this video about inconsistency in Hearthstone, which it ended up being the most upvoted thing for like a couple of days, right? Talking about like these issues in Hearthstone that can be fixed, that should be fixed, which is like text on certain cards that are contradictory to itself. Like when you deal with opinion stuff, like, hey, is Grim Patron overpowered? Is Secret Paladin overpowered? There's leeway in that discussion, right? That's because there's arguments from both sides. But the stuff I talked about was kind of like, you know, here's where Blizzard messed up. And I made that video, and I haven't made a Hearthstone video before that for like 8 days, sorry, not 8 weeks. Because, you know, I wasn't feeling very positive. Like I was pretty down on the game, so I made this critical video about Blizzard. And then after that, you know, you hear like guys like Fireback complaining, like guys like Trump forcing not playing Hearthstone anymore, and everyone was kind of jumping on this bandwagon that Blizzard is not doing a great job with communications either. And eventually, you know, it reached the point where I wasn't watching Hearthstone stream, I wasn't playing even Tavern Brawl. Like the only stuff I log in for is probably Daily Quest, you know, the occasional video material. But even then, I couldn't come up with anything. It's like I was bashing my head against the wall. I was trying to come up with something, but there's literally nothing I can talk about. So I tweeted out that, you know, I want to take a break. That was burnt out from the game, and Blizzard did a poor job with communications. And of course, you know, League of Explorers was announced, and I'm not sure about you guys, but I didn't see it coming so soon. Like for sure, the announcement was coming at BlizzCon, but they're saying it was a month earlier than expected. And I kind of talked to them, and they're like, we're making big changes, and they ended up fixing the inconsistencies. Like this inconsistency has been in the game for 2 years, and after, you know, this whole debacle, like they fixed it. They fixed a bunch of the other ones. They talked about consistency. Like Ben Bro released that video, like consistency in Hearthstone, talking about Rudolph the Claw, and they fixed all the bugs that I complained about, and I thought, you know, this was heading in the right direction. But, you know, obviously, some people kind of latched on to the full fact, oh my god, this guy still said he was going to quit Hearthstone. He went to Reddit about it. He made a big video. Someone made a post saying, let's talk about DisguisedToast and how he betrayed the community. He made a video. He posted it to Reddit.
Betrayed the community.
Betrayed?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Backstabber.
Yeah, and fortunately for me,
God.
there were some reasonable people in that thread saying, well, you know, the situation's changed. The release date got moved up a month that everyone was expecting, and, you know, this guy's toast changed. Like he came back earlier from his break than expected. But you know, some people don't want to talk about that. They just want to focus on this guy's toast said he was gonna quit Hearthstone. He came back a week later. He's a sellout shill, and because I uploaded this video from League of Explorers onto my channel, right? And people, there was all these conspiracy theories like, I think Blizzard paid Toast to say he's sick of the game,
Oh,
and then to
wow.
be really positive about
Wow.
the game after League of Explorers came out.
Dude, this is
To
so
sh-
sick.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory, man. This is it.
Next level.
Illuminati, man.
Blizzard
We got it.
pays Blizzard pays content makers to make.
I mean,
Actually, you're hired by
Content.
Blizzard, guys. Didn't you know? You're actually
course.
officially under their paycheck. That's what?
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 I'm
Just
actually,
what?
I'm actually Ben
Oh.
Broke under this mask.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. Oh
Yeah.
god.
But it's mostly died down, but I still get a lot of flack. Like if I'm streaming, I get some people coming in. It's like, oh, this is the bitch who quit Hearthstone. What a bitch! It's like, I mean,
It's the same guy with different accounts.
And
dude.
that
Don't
one
worry
guy,
about it.
that one comment
Oh.
just eats at you like the entire night. Just
Yeah.
one dude out of thousands of people.
but I've been trying my best to stay out of the whole. Like I do agree it was a mistake for me to involve myself in like adding to the whole thing, and
Yeah.
I agree it's a mistake. So I've been trying to not be so negative and not try to put myself in the discussion anymore. Like just keep it light.
So you actually brought up something that I think is one of the points that we wanted to talk about today, which was, when you started to, I guess, get a little, I guess, less inspired by the game, when the game was in the state, and Noxious, you mentioned that too. You actually just like were getting to the point where you just couldn't figure out even videos to make, and then that probably led to what you decided to take a break. There's some of those other people that you mentioned, they're continuing to do just streaming Hearthstone and that sort of thing, just because it's like their job right at this point. For you guys as YouTube content makers, is it like to that point right now? Like Trolden, you've been doing YouTube, you've been doing Hearthstone YouTube videos forever now. Like, is it like your job now, and you just do it as your job, or is it still run by your just being inspired by Hearthstone and just really loving the game?
The biggest problem with weekly episodes is that I'm not inspired to make every episode. Sometimes to do it just because of the deadline. Sometimes I make an episode just because I'm inspired. I found something cool, or just watched something and I got inspired by it, and I want to make a video about it. And that's the biggest issue, I guess. I've been releasing 2 videos per week before, but now I only do 1, and it's much better because I get to work on a video every day, but a little bit less time spent on it. So it's more fun to work that way, and I get more ideas throughout the process.
Yeah, absolutely. How about you, Toast?
Yeah, definitely. Like when you're struggling for content, when you're grasping at straw, it definitely feels like that.
Yeah.
Which is the stage I'm at now, because League of Explorers been out close to 4 months, almost 4 months, and
Yeah,
almost
about 3 months. Yeah,
3 months. Sorry, and all the interaction's been done, all the bugs been talked about, and you have to get really creative, but that's kind of like every time a new expansion comes out, there's so much content. Like you can talk about this card, you can show off this card, but yeah, for me, I'm definitely treat it as a job. Like I haven't released a video in like 10 days because I just can't think of anything right now.
Yeah, and that's kind of the 2 different, I guess, processes you guys have, right? And it kind of leads, I guess, to just the logistics of you guys making videos. So I guess to start off with, how long does it take you guys to make videos normally? If you have like the content, the ideas, how long does it usually take to put one together?
I'm interested in that. Yeah, go ahead.
If I have all the content needed, it takes about 2 days to put it together.
Okay.
Whoa, that's a lot.
No, that's a lot, but I spend a lot of time looking for music, for example.
Okay.
I still reuse a lot of music. Like every episode, I reuse lots of music, but then I find something new, something that I enjoy, because a lot of music that even people send to me that kind of like, oh, dude, you can use this music. I don't enjoy it. That's why I don't want to put it in there. And a lot of royalty-free music is really low quality.
Yeah,
which
that's
makes
true.
which makes it terrible, and I just don't want to use it. For example, when expansions for World of Warcraft and StarCraft come out, it really helps because they have a lot of epic music that you can use in the videos. So when back in the, I think 1 year ago, when Bullets of Draenor launched, I had a lot of music from that expansion to use. So that helped sometimes. And just generally, I edit a lot of stuff, then I edit it out, then I add a clip, then I don't like it, then I put it back, and and it takes 3 hours.
I'm picky about it.
It takes 3 hours to upload a video with my slowest shitty internet in the universe.
Wow, rip my life. I would probably not even bother, man. Like, just nope. I mean, it's worth it at this stage. You've already done a lot of work on it, but I mean, if that had been my experience when I started out at all, I mean, you're massive now, but like, I don't think I would have ever stuck to it. 3 hours for an upload. That is hell. I don't know, man.
You can do it when you go to sleep.
I hate it. Yeah, but it's such a pain because you have to put the thumbnail, the title, and like you have to modify everything with it. So you kind of want to just do it in one sitting, or you know go away for an hour or something. But I don't know.
I live in Europe, so I have to post a video in the evening when people from Russia, Europe are awake, and Americans are also awake, and Canadians I think too. So if I put a video and I go to sleep, I wake up at 8 a.m. and everyone's sleeping everywhere in the world, and I kind of want to upload the video because it's done and I just have to press a button, but then I can't, and I have this awful feeling that, oh god, I just want to upload that video, just want to show it off.
Yeah.
Well, you can schedule it now, right? Which is a little bit better, or you can schedule the post now.
But still, it's a pain in the ass that you know you have a video that you can release, but you cannot release it. It's an awful feeling.
Yeah. Toast, how about you? How long does it take for you to make a video?
Yeah, for me, because my videos range from a pretty wide variety of topics, I mean, I think it ranges like 4 hours to, I think the max I've ever spent on a video is just 2 days, like 20 hours in total. Because I don't really edit my videos that heavily. It's mostly just trying to find something interesting and put in a little bit of music, put in a little bit of edits, and just release it. It's
the setup's like where all the work is for you. Just getting
the setup's probably like setting up these crazy scenarios or trying to recreate a bug. That probably takes the longest, but in terms of editing, that doesn't take long at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't use After Effects. Like Toast, I know Trolden uses it, but do you use After Effects at all, or just some kind of video editing software with the basic like move things, put a sound, put clips together, fade in, fade out, zoom in, zoom out. Yeah, exactly.
I hate doing anything that has anything to do with sound in After Effects. I just do the visual stuff. I make the background transparent, and then I add it onto my Sony Vegas project.
Do you really need After Effects though? Because I feel like a lot of these like things you're doing that I notice could basically be done. Maybe it's more complicated and more convoluted to do it on the basic edits, but I'm just trying to figure it out because I don't think I've seen anything so flashy that you'd need After Effects.
I usually use After Effects for machinimas, if I add some, and then animating a picture. Like sometimes I just cut out the art and then I animate it a little bit.
Yeah, move it around.
That's cool.
Like I had in one of the recent episodes a leopard gnome, and then a knife flies into him and he starts bleeding a little bit. And it would take a lot of time to do that in Sony Vegas.
Yeah, just moving a still. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then moving the blood. I mean, that would be hell. Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah, and also everything with 3D layers, it's also much easier to do in After Effects. But After Effects, it's almost impossible to work on large projects with my computer. I tried, I failed.
Oh, really? Okay. Need a crazy powerful computer for it?
Not crazy powerful, but better than what I have right now.
Okay. I mean, I think upgrading the hardware is one of the most important things you can do if you're going to be in for the long run. It's going to save you a massive headache.
Even just render time. Oh my god. Render time
it's insane.
Forever,
insane. Absolutely nuts.
Yeah. So in terms of like all the little things, like obviously Trolden, you're taking more time doing a lot of these things, right? In After Effects, and Toast, you're not at all. What are the things that you like? What are the main things that you think the community likes to see? Like, those little things I think are probably more like an artistic kind of thing that you want to add, from a quality standpoint to your video, Trolden.
Right.
But Noxious is probably right though, like the gist of your the interest in your videos probably doesn't, that it probably doesn't revolve around those little things. But the little things are just like icing and really, it makes you stand out from other people. So what is the main things do you think that the communities love to see from the standpoint of like videos and things like that? I mean, obviously, funny plays, best plays, but any other ones that you guys don't make right now, but you think the community like?
I did a video. It took about a month to make. I did it with a guy who also working on animating cards right now. So
Fullus, is that it?
Fullus, yeah.
Yes, that guy's amazing.
Fullus and the guy who does all the animations is Versa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I worked with him. So I basically directed a little machinima. It was Dr. Boom versus Big Game Hunter.
Oh yeah, I remember.
So
yeah,
it was
yeah.
it was a Batman versus Superman parody, and it
that was
was
a good
really
video.
it was really good and got a lot of upvotes on Reddit. But the problem is that it got, I think, 2 times less views than anything else on my channel. So I kind of wasted a month doing that video, where I could have just made a regular funny Lucky Moments episode. And would
that's
twice
kind of
as many views.
That's kind of the point I'm trying to get at, right? Like from the standpoint of like views per hour type of thing. I feel like it's not representative of it a lot of times, like when you're doing something maybe crazy artistic like that, like some kind of awesome machinima, Batman or Superman thing, versus just, putting together one of your something that you do like normally, like every week. When do you balance that, I guess? Like what made you decide to do that, I guess, Trolden?
It was passion. I was just passionate about that. Kind of, I think it's always like that. When you're passionate about something, you just want to make it, and if you have all the tools needed, you just have to wait. I guess back then I had Versa helping me, so I could just pay him, tell him what to do, show him what to do, and then he would do that, just because it's really time consuming setting up all the places, because it's not just After Effects work. It's not like you print screen something from the game and then you screen to put it in. It was actually 3D work, so it took a lot of time. And I feel just generally Hearthstone community wants a lot of quality content, but it doesn't support quality content that much.
Yeah,
not more than it does usual stuff, because Hearthstone already looks good based. Very often, just the game quality itself is enough to carry people forward, as long as you have good music, good transitions, and a few funny effects here and there. Like they're really not looking for the crazy, flashy, complex stuff. Which is interesting.
There's this Hearthstone YouTuber called Gludas, who's doing really
popular
these days.
Yes.
Gludas.
So
yeah.
He's been making these really high quality edited
really
competitive recap about the Hearthstone competitive scene, like talking about games from Asia even, and it's one of the most well edited video I've ever seen. But those videos are probably his least popular ones, and like the videos where he does a show about cooking with Hearthstone cards and making meme jokes about reminiscing worries and stuff like that has so much more views than it, and I think it's really representative of the kind of attitude,
right?
Yeah, the attitude.
So here's
towards,
the deal.
Yeah,
Forsen gets a lot of viewers on Twitch.
Okay.
I think that sums up the Hearthstone community. So like you don't need you really don't need a great webcam, a sick. You just don't need that stuff.
You don't need overlays and
you don't even bother, man. Like you just need you make a notepad text file that redirects your donation messages, and it kind of changes whoever's the highest donor. Like it's just so simple to get stuff going with the Hearthstone community. And it's interesting because when great stuff comes up, people get all excited about it, but very often they don't keep following the person who was behind that good stuff. Like they might have seen one good video. For instance, Fullest Games, right? He made that Tyrande mock-up, right? The new hero, the priest Tyrande mock-up. I don't know if you saw it. It was over on Reddit for like the last, for a few days. and it got like 70K views, and his other videos are all sitting at a much lower amount. And that is interesting because he might have gained followers, but it doesn't necessarily follow that they will all watch the rest. I don't know.
The
There is
Reddit
another.
effect.
There was
Yeah.
a cinema on Reddit. It was done in Source Filmmaker. It was Jaina playing against Gul'dan in a tavern, and then Gul'dan uses Twisting Nether, and it sucks everyone in. And it was the best, probably the best, World of Warcraft / Hearthstone machinima that I've ever seen. And that guy, for example, didn't get a lot of followers after that, even though that stuff was like the best stuff I've seen ever on that subreddit. That's what saddens me the most.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like a lot of production and a lot of artistry, like doesn't mean that much. It might mean just like about 5%, or 10% of the overall interests and views, exposure, whatever you want to call it for each of the content. And yeah, I mean it's a little bit of a shame, because a lot more work is put into these things, right? And like you said with that one video, right? One video can get 70,000, but we all know as content producers, it's just like either you have to be consistent about the quality and consistent about the type of videos, or it's like a one shot, like a one hit wonder type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, Fullest has been consistent at least, so
Yeah,
there's that,
true.
and he's been doing
Yeah.
a lot better than he used to.
Yeah,
And there are 2 people working there. For example, I'm working all by myself, and same for Toast. It's not like he has another person doing job for him.
Oh yeah.
So that's
Like back when before people knew me, like some people thought I was like a brand, like a company, like DisguisedToast. It's like
that's when you've done a good job, man. People
infographic,
actually
man,
think
you're
you have a
icon.
brand there.
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't until the whole fireside gathering video that people started realizing, oh, it's just a guy with a cardboard mask doing these videos. So
Yeah.
I think what Toast did the best in his career was the first impression. He did those really high quality infographics, and he had a logo ready. He had the style ready. So whenever he was releasing a new infographic or whatever, everyone could remember him because a DisguisedToast is like an iconic thing. Everyone was making fun of it on Reddit, and I think that was the biggest part of his success. Just making it seem like a brand, making everything look cool and professional just from the beginning. Because a lot of people just they start producing content, like they don't even think of making a logo, maybe some kind of intro. I think a lot of that has to be in the video so that people remember you, and then the next time when they click on the video, they would follow you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, marketability is a big part of trying to brand yourself, and I think it's something a lot of streamers and YouTubers struggle with. Is like they don't really know how to market themselves, right, in terms of social media and just branding their content really well. So an example would be Brian Kibler. He has the most subscribed YouTube channel in the last month out of anyone, like compared to Crip, Trump, Amaz. Like these are guys with 500,000, and he had gained more subs than them in the last month because he's been working on his marketability, like thumbnails, editing his videos, and you can really tell the difference because before then, I think Brian Kibler only had 30,000 subscribers, and now he's up to like, I don't know, 80,000. And the only difference is just a little bit of editing and a little bit of social media presence. But not every streamer agrees with that. I know like someone like Forsen, he doesn't need that, right? Because he's super popular on Twitch.
Something happened and Forsen just became big. Like nobody, because I remember him from the days of like StarCraft 2. I remember him playing on the like simulator of like Cockatrice before Hearthstone came out, and it was just a big. I don't really care much about the game thing. Like he cared about improving and about learning it, but like the whole involvement in the community beyond that wasn't really a big thing. And then suddenly, the stream just blew up. I don't even remember what triggered it, but yeah, he doesn't need that stuff. One day maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think Forsen is
Probably not.
Probably not. No, Forsen just happens to be. I think he's more of an anomaly, I think,
Yeah.
than anything else, like, in terms of just his crazy popularity. But you do bring up a good point in terms of, I guess, streamers and YouTube. I think most people, or most of the streamers that we know, the approach that they've taken is just, just hiring a video editor, right, and having them go through a bunch of their stream stuff, and then coming up with something, right, whether it's top plays of the day and that sort of thing, and then just having a little bit of a kind of double dipping, right, in terms of your content in YouTube. Crip does a lot more work. I know he makes videos every day with his commentary and stuff like that, but a lot of the people that just just take plays from their streams are don't really focus on YouTube. So like to your point with Kibler, just putting more emphasis just on YouTube, I think it goes a long ways in terms of building up subscriberships and things like that. So in terms of Reddit and social media, everybody always talks about, right, Reddit and social media. Like, you have to be big on Reddit. You have to be popular in social media for your content to be successful. What are your thoughts on that? Toast, I'll ask you first.
Well, Reddit will always play a role in, I think, in anyone's success when it comes to esports. Either you get famous through Reddit, or you get famous enough that your content is posted to Reddit, where you get even more famous. And it has like Reddit, in my eyes, like every community figure goes through a good guy phase and then a bad guy phase.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
For me, it's like Amaz. So when Amaz was, before he was popular, he started off getting like these clips on Reddit, like, oh, look at this guy's reaction. He's so happy. He's so excited. Like, what a fun guy to be streaming Hearthstone, right? And that's how he got really popular. It's like, oh man, I want to watch this guy stream because he seems like such an awesome guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he got really popular. And then now, every time Amaz is brought up, Skama stuff, and whenever you bring him up on Reddit, it's like, oh my god, what an overreactor, faking his, reactions for views, what a sellout. It's like, the reaction between a year ago and right now is so different. And, yeah, that's...
He still gets a ton of viewers, though. I mean, regardless, right? So...
That is a pretty detailed description.
Yeah. So my point is, if you want to become popular and stay popular, you have to go through a good guy phase and build up enough audience outside of Reddit, because there are some people who are completely reliant on Reddit for views, like certain gaming websites, smaller channels. It's like, if your shit's not on the front page of Reddit, then you're not getting any views. But
that's true.
Are you guys beyond that point at this, like, with your channels?
It still helps, but
yeah, I imagine Trolden would be like way more secure, compared to me. But even me, I can probably pull in 200,000 without hitting the front page.
Yeah.
But hitting the front page is like 400,000. I mean, it's doubled, but the difference between 200,000 and 400 is doubled, but it's still not bad.
I think you overestimate it a little bit, because sometimes you just make a really, really good video, and that's why it gets on the front page, and that's why it gets more views. Not because it's on the front page, but because the quality is really good. I think Reddit pulls about 100,000 views in a video if it's on the front page, no more. It's not gonna pull in 200,000, I think.
And even then, it depends on the type of content.
At least it never happened to me. Like, if something's posted on Reddit, maybe I'll get back in the days when I wasn't, didn't have as big of a channel, it could go maximum 500, 50,000, 70,000, but not more. So I think you're overestimating Reddit's influence a little bit, but it is true that you have to, in order to succeed, you have to be at least popular on Reddit, get a few top voted posts.
Another part of it is, a lot of website uses Reddit, our Hearthstone Reddit, for their news, their source of news, right? So I know a bunch of editors and guys like Polygon and Kotaku. They just use our Hearthstone to find out what's popular, and seeing a popular video there, they're more likely to rehost it on their own website, which gets more views in turn. But not all videos are website friendly as well. So yeah, I definitely agree. There's this weird relationship between becoming popular, becoming famous essentially, and Reddit. And not everyone loves it. I know a lot of Hearthstone community figures just like, oh my god, Reddit, I hate them. But
Yeah.
I like Reddit, but sometimes it's unbearable.
You mean the circle jerk, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't
Well,
know. I
it's-
just feel like
it's-
it's a good community to be. Like, it's kind of like the official platform where people post anyway. If
Mhm.
something happened in the Hearthstone world, it's on Reddit. It's not on Blizzard's website for Hearthstone at all.
What's the community? It's the community side at this point.
Well,
I think
Pretty
that's
much,
the way to look
yeah.
at it. Yeah.
Blizzard's not gonna post that Forsen got banned or something. They're just, where are you gonna find out that?
Oh no.
Where's it got banned on Twitch again?
Yeah, he did 24. I imagine
my
it's 24
God.
hours, but yeah.
Yeah, it's never forever. Yeah, I think that's probably so. I basically what you're saying is that when you're first starting out, trying to get, I guess, established, Reddit's super important. But for you guys who have a very established YouTube channel at this point, it doesn't make that big of a difference. I mean, 200K is still a pretty good base, like regardless of if you have additional advertising or what. Because Reddit, that's kind of what it is anyways, right? It's a form of advertisement, and free advertisement. So.
Can I add something?
Yeah,
by
sure.
The way?
Go for it.
When Toast was talking about Amas and how he was really, everyone loved him on Reddit, and that now there is some negativity to his name. I think a lot of that is because when someone becomes popular, you become a personality, and whenever you do something public, you might fail, and then people are gonna hate you for that. They're not gonna remember all the good stuff you did. They're gonna remember that one bad thing you did. That one time you said retarded on Twitter, and then someone tweeted that out. Yeah, or you say you quit or something. Everyone's gonna remember that. Everyone's gonna point it out, and that's how you get the negativity. So I think it's impossible to stay forever positive on Reddit. But if
everybody's
want to do that,
yeah,
you have to kind of think of what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, even all of our most beloved figures in Hearthstone have had some negativity on Reddit. Nobody is immune to it. Okay, so with other content makers, you guys have mentioned a bunch of them now, right? Just different. Do you guys feel competitive with them, or do you guys feel more, like a family? Just like a more of a, collaborative. You guys are open to collaborating with anybody.
So the only other Hearthstone content creator I'm talking about exclusively, just YouTube in general, is that I know is Trolden and Gludas that I really talk to. I try and avoid collaborations because, there's a lot of things that might go wrong when you collaborate with someone, and generally I try not to let that happen by not collaborating with anyone. It's not because
like what? Like
what's cautious disagreements, man. Like it happens. Just
we collaborated with Toast though. It was good.
Oh yeah, we made a video for the Hearthstone channel. Yeah, that was good because we set up specific roles. I'm gonna do X and he's gonna do Y. But say I start off with a new channel with someone else and I want to do X and he wants to do Y, and we don't really want to budge. I can see there being some issues. But so I mostly just keep to myself.
Okay, Trolden, how about you?
I mean, as I said, I collaborated with Versart on that machinima, but generally I don't like collaborating because I have my own. I believe I have my own style of editing, and I just want to edit everything myself. So as far as collaborations on my channel go, it's just voiceover for top 5 plays. And maybe some of the funny moments. Yeah. I mean, if collaborations, especially on YouTube, are really difficult. You have.
Yeah, I mean, I know like with other when you're talking about like music videos, like YouTube, like musicians and just people that are known for that, they kind of do duets and stuff with each other, right? And I mean, I think some of that has to do with just trying to be exposed to like whoever they're collaborating with community too, and kind of doing that. How much of it has to do with you guys? How much of it has to do with just you guys are the biggest ones, right? So there might not be anything to gain for you guys doing it.
That's a good way to look at it. I mean, I'd be like, so let's say if Crip tomorrow phones me up and say, hey, Toast, let's work on a video together.